Hello everyone, I'm Brian, welcome back, and let's go ahead and continue.
Thank you, Sadhguru.
I'm sorry if I discouraged.
She just laughed. That's it.
Just answered my question, Sadhguru. Thank you so much for that. Sadhguru, we all believe our life is precious, and I believe that our body is equally precious after we die. When we die, should we allow our body to be burned or buried or to utilize by someone else who is in the need of organ? Is this against the law of nature? What are your views on organ donation?
Whoo! so, so Sadhguru just kind of said something actually in the previous video, which is just a few minutes before this, when it's about the fact that our body becomes topsoil. This is all just borrowed, and he did say, in fact, that this body is in a sense borrowed from the earth because, you know, we eat from it and it creates our body. So I'm curious. I wonder if Sadhguru would have the take that that it's okay to be an organ donor. As a matter of fact, I just became one. Just because, you know, what the hell, if they can make use of this body after I'm dead, then good. I can do some more good after I'm dead. You know, I don't see it as anything bad. You know, if you can save a life after you're dead, that's fantastic. If you can't, well, you know, you try. You tried. Ugh. Anyways.
Well, this question will not be relevant in another 4 to 5 years because everybody will have stem cell organs growing whatever they need. You can have a spare heart growing in case somebody breaks it and or a liver or a kidney or whatever you need. Even they're saying you can even grow joints at some point, that you can have spare knees ready in case these wear out, immediately So, if you do not know this, in most, big hospitals, in the last 10, 12 years' time, for most children, they're preserving a piece of the umbilical cord. As a part of the stem cell thing, you should know. Because we can manufacture almost any organ you want. So this question will become irrelevant. Technology is moving. About donating organs, well, see, giving away… Actually, somebody was asking me a question in Hyderabad, a film personality was asking, say, I don't love anybody that I'm willing to give my kidney to them. For me, love means I can take her out and she's nice and I can take her out for dinner, I can do this and that with her, but I'm not willing to give my kidney to her, so is it wrong? So you're asking, should I give my kidney to somebody? Not necessarily people whom you love, but just anybody, let them benefit after I'm dead, that's a question. See, there are many aspects to this, but first of all, if you already do not know this, there is a sinister business going on in the world. Very sinister business, particularly in Vietnam, Cambodia and some parts of Thailand. Organs are being stolen from live people. Once you campaign for organ donation, inevitably you will drive the societies there because you may be biology, but she's in commerce. If you talk about organ donation, she will see how to make a business out of it.
Well, too late, Sadhguru. They're already gonna start manufacturing this thing, so
Yes, isn't it? Somebody will look at it as an enterprise. Already it's become a sinister enterprise. In many African countries, this is happening. People are held down and their organs are stolen. This is happening in a scale which may not be very large scale, but a scale which is of great concern. To that extent, it's gone. So if somebody needs an organ and somebody wants to donate, fantastic. What a wonderful gesture. But at the same time, I am not for campaigning for organ donation because you cannot control it. Once you create the market, you cannot control the supply. They will somehow find the supply, isn't it? If you don't die in time, they'll help you. Yes, they will. If not enough kidneys are coming, they will make sure enough people are dying today. You don't think they'll do it? They will do it. So, it is not good to campaign for organ donation. So many people have come to me saying, Sadhguru, you must campaign for organ donation. I said, I won't do this because I know the consequence. First of all, what you need to understand is, all our body parts, unless they're congenitally something wrong, most of the time, all our body parts are designed for a lifetime. Yes? Designed for a lifetime. Why don't we teach people to live responsibly in such a way that our organs last for a lifetime? We want people to drink and rot their liver, and then we want somebody else's liver. This should not be encouraged, I'm saying. People should understand, if I rot my liver, I will die. Yes or no? This understanding is not there. Everybody thinks it's okay, my liver is rotting, I'll get hers. It's going in this direction. We should not encourage that, if you ask me. So, this happened, you know. Once Shankaran Pillai was supposed to speak in the Rotary Club in Shillong. You heard of Shankaran Pillai? No? He's a famous guy. He was supposed to speak in Rotary Club. But these Rotary Club meetings are after 7 p.m. But by 7 p.m. usually Shankaran Pillai is fully sloshed. So he got fully sloshed. Then he came all drunk to the Rotary Club. And this meeting was about organ donation. Rotary clubs are usually involved in these things. So his friend, a local guy who was supposed to introduce Shankaran Pillai to the club, people said, what is this? This man has come fully drunk. So he said, he is not an ordinary drunk. Because he is so committed to organ donation, he is preserving his organs in alcohol. So you want to preserve. It's most important that every human being takes this responsibility. The organs that are given to me by nature will last for a lifetime. Something happened, some ailment, accident,
There you go.
something else happened. Such a thing happens, always we can seek. But this entire culture of organ donation, people are looking for a cause, this is the problem. If you campaign too much for this will become a sinister possibility. Fortunately, the stem cells are coming and that could change everything.
Thank you.
And so I will still say, you know, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm still going to be an organ donor for sure. And in the United States, I'm sure there's still the black market stuff like Sadhguru is talking about. And absolutely, anytime there's a market for something, it can always turn for evil. But that's for anything. Anything that you can create, generally speaking, can be used for evil. But we cannot always look at things that way. So, I watch certain doctor shows and I watch certain doctors on YouTube talk about this. And obviously doctor shows are not necessarily always 100% right, but they do have some truths to them. So in order for you to receive an organ, because organs are very rare, you have to meet so much requirements in order to get an organ donated. If you are an alcoholic and smoke a lot and you need a new liver, they will not give you an organ. You will be bypassed if you continue that habit, because what's the point of giving it to you if you're just going to throw it away? A lot of doctors see organ donation as a gift of life. So in order to receive that gift of life, you must be respectful to the person given that organ, and that is to cherish your life, to cherish the second chance that you have if you were chosen to receive it. So and I do agree with that idea, is the fact that, you know, you have to earn that organ, and like Sadhguru was talking about accidents and what do you call it, diseases and stuff. I don't know what percentage is based on bad decision, or diseases that no one had any control over, disease accidents and stuff had control over. And I'm certainly, and I'm with Sadhguru on this word, hopefully stem cell research can, grow organs, but then, with even that, you'll have the commerce part come in. Obviously, only rich people will be able to afford it. And then you'll have people who, the poor will probably have to get the used parts. But yeah, I don't know, much like technology in terms of cell phones, where only rich people had cell phones that you could only talk 30 minutes into before the battery dies. Now it's commonplace for everyone to have cell phones. But I guess the problem will be if we can grow organs in whatever it is, that people are not going to be responsible. They're going to be drinking. It's like, well, I can get another liver tomorrow if I drink too much. It's going to have the same situation, and then there's going to be a market for it. And it'll be commonplace because it's going to get cheaper as technology grows. Things that are expensive becomes cheaper. Massive screen TVs used to be super expensive, cheap now. Massive cell phones used to be super expensive, cheap now. Technologies in cars used to be only the rich and the fancy cars are now more affordable cars. So as technology progresses, things becomes cheaper. And it's really weird, as technology gets better, do you think that we as human beings get worse? Couple of little proofs here. Smartphones are making us dumb. I used to remember everyone's number. Like if I need to call someone, I remember I can dial it right away. Now I have no idea whose number is who anymore. I have to look at my phone to say, oh, that's that number. And then there are certain technologies in cars where they can help you park. If a car can park for you, you are not going to learn how to park, and you're going to be worse at driving at parking for that. So if you drive a car that can't park and you've never parked before, you have no idea how to park. Technology is making us worse too.
Thank you, Sadhguru.
Okay, Sadhguruji, this is very common in my college, and it is true about me and also my friends. So I'm in love with a girl, and and what happens is that I don't have the courage to talk to her, and this is a self-doubt that I have. I think that I don't deserve her. So what to do on this regards?
What would I give to someone who's asking this advice? I would say this. Well, one thing, I guess, I don't know, do you know her? How much do you know about her? Do you have a lot of similarities, things in common? If so, you can ask her to hang out sometime, and that would be a kind of a good hint, And then during that hangout, you can talk to her. It's like, hey, I really like you. I'm wondering if you want to make it official or something like that. I guess the way to get that encouragement is like, you only have one life to live. YOLO, as they say. Take a chance, The worst thing she'll say is no. Be genuine and honest about it. Of course, don't go in there. It's like, hey, you want to go out? No, just say, hey, look, I talked to you for a little bit, and I really like you. I'm wondering if you want to make this official, kind of like that. Be genuine. Think about what you're gonna say, and go for it. And don't back down or anything. Don't say, oh, or we want to be friends. No, just be forward with it. Say, no, I really like you, and I would like us to be official. Or, I don't know what the terminology will be. Just go with that. Don't back down from that. Don't doubt yourself. Just let her answer. Let her finish answering that question, whether it's a yes or no. Don't interrupt. Because there are people out there where, if they don't answer, if the woman doesn't answer right away or the man doesn't answer right away, they start backing out of their thing, and I think that can be seen as maybe not a good thing. So just be confident as much as you can. Just be straightforward and answer. It's better to ask a no than to live to regret not knowing. And what is it? And better do it soon, because someone else might do it and take that chance away from you. Or maybe you're taking that chance away from someone. Let's see what the legend has to say here.
You are in love with a girl, or you've fallen in love with a girl?
Actually, I fall in love.
What's the difference? Sadhguru.
This happened. Before he became a drunk, he was at the Shillong University. Shankaran Pillai. And he was doing his PhD. So one day he went to his mentor professor and said, "Sir, I need your help on something very important." So the professor said, "Yes, that's why I'm here, please tell me." Then he named a college beauty and he said, "Sir, I'm completely in love with her. I need your help on this." "What do you mean you need my help? I'm not here to help you on those kind of matters. I'm here for academic purposes." He said, "No, sir, I'm really 50% successful. You just need to help me with the other 50%. He asked, "What is 50% success anyway?" He said, "I'm completely in love with her and she doesn't know. The other 50% you must help me." So, just enjoy the love affair because because now it's totally in your control. If you also bring her into the picture, now she will take charge of it. I'm not saying you should not fall in love with somebody, but don't be in a rush to live. At this stage in your life, see how to build yourself up into a worthwhile life, then things will come to you in a certain way. If you rush into life too early, then other aspects of growth will it'll get stunted. Because you got emotionally entangled, now you immediately… the girl says, "I'm going to come with you tomorrow morning." Then immediately you have to find some job, you've not completed your engineering, you will find one auto rickshaw to drive. Arey, all these things will happen. Love does all these things to you. So just… you're having a great love affair, just enjoy it, don't tell her.
Oh, that's good. I don't know if she's gonna add on to that. I'll say no. I'll say go for it. And obviously, you don't have to rush into things. Going out and being with someone, I think, is great. It's something that you can end up, going out on dates and just hang out as official couples for a year or two, maybe 5. There's no length of time that you have to be like, okay, 2 years passed, now we have to marry each other. There's nothing like that. Being official and getting to know each other to see if there's something more there. And then the great thing about it is that if you find that you're perfect for each other, then great. You found the one so early in your life. You can grow together, build an empire together. I think that's the thing. Yes, Sadhguru is right. You don't rush into things, but doesn't mean you can't date and find out if they're the one. Because you have to learn how to date too. If you don't ever date, you're not gonna… it's like a muscle. You have to… I'm not saying you go out there and just date to date. You have to try to find someone that you really want to be with. I think we humans, I don't want to say crave, but we want to be with someone that we love. And so do that. If you find someone really young, that's fantastic, And this was going to go back to the other video about saying delay reproduction. I'd say a little bit different for that one, in my opinion, because in the United States, delayed reproduction is happening quite a lot, and to the point where a lot of women are delaying it so much that they no longer can have babies. So I would say… this is the thing that I've been also watching in the red pill community and stuff. It's a lot of women are waiting too late in their life to try to find someone, and now they're not finding anyone, and they're in a rush to have a baby because they only have a couple of years left because they put it off for so long. So you have to be careful about that. I think generally speaking, if you find someone when you're real young and when you're young and you want to have a baby, I think it's best to do it when you're younger, but don't be stupid and just have a baby with someone. Find someone that you genuinely trust and that you want to be with. That way, when the baby becomes 7 years old, then you can start your career and you can focus on your career as opposed to starting your career when you're young, having a baby, having to take a break of your career because you have to raise the baby, and then come back to who knows what, because you kind of have a pause there. If you have a baby when you're a bit younger, then once the baby's grown, you can have the rest of your life to focus on your career and without it being interrupted at all. I genuinely think that's the best option, but I understand that can always happen. It all depends on also what anyone wants to choose, whether it's the guy or the mother, whether they do or don't, whether they wait later or not, whether they want to be a stay-at-home mom or dad or whatever it is. But I genuinely think having it younger, in terms for the woman, especially the woman that wants to have a career, that way you can focus on your child while they're younger until they become old enough to take care of themselves. Then you can focus on your career the rest of your life, and then you can be proud of you raised your child from the early age when they really needed a mother. And that's something that Sadhguru talked about in the last video too, about that was it the 4 years. Then after that, and this is why I kind of say that too, when they're younger, and you can focus on a child instead of shipping the child to a daycare, being raised by some stranger, and you're out there working and coming home to take care of the child when you're not there. You're more away from your child than you're present in your child. It's kind of a really weird thing where our babies are being raised by strangers in these communities and not by the parents or mothers or fathers, or even, I think it's even actually pretty good to do it with grandmothers and stuff. But anyways, really weird thought there. But anyways, that's merely my opinion and my thoughts. Let me know if you disagree. Hey, by all means, let me know in the comments below.
Sadhguru, I think he also kind of, wanted to know about self-doubt that he has, although the context was that, but he's primarily asking about self-doubt.
See, about, this is not self-doubt, the doubt is about her.
Oh, that is true, that is true.
How she will respond.
Yes.
That is the doubt. Somewhere when it comes to yourself, the question of whether I'm good enough for something, not good enough for something, you should not worry about that. You must just see every day how you can be a better human being than the way you are right now. And then the world, the way it responds, tells you whether you're good enough or not. It's not for you to think whether… See, this is why there's an examination at the end of the year. Why? Because you may think you're a great engineer, but the examination results tell you. So this also is like that. You may think I'm a hero, but well, the girl, she has her opinions. So instead of that, see how to make yourself better, in how many ways, not just the way you look. Because your looks will be ignored after some time. You have to make yourself better. How to make yourself better? At least you're trying to make yourself into a good engineer, that's a good idea. Another thing is, well, just see, better means what? What is it one thing that always draws people? What is it that one thing that makes a person look wonderful is? It is not the shape of your nose…
Confidence?
Or the point of your chin, or your hairstyle or something. A joyful face is always a beautiful face, isn't it so? Your nose can be like this, it doesn't matter. Joyful face is always a beautiful face. Do that one thing, maybe she will fall in love with you.
I'll say this, his talking here about making yourself better, again, something in those videos that I watch, the advice that they give to men is to improve yourself. You know, get the best job you can, be in the best shape you can, and then other things will fall in line with that. Well, to a lot of degrees that is true. Obviously, you cannot let things just fall. You must make changes in your life as well. If you want something, you have to go for it. And this is something that this applies to both men and women. If you want something, you have to go for it. If you want a good job, you have to pursue it. If you want a good partner in your life, you have to pursue what a good partner is. What is a good partner, and pursue that. Pursue a person that is a good partner for you. Obviously, I mean, you don't beat them up or anything like that. But you know, if you find someone that's really you deem to be worthy, and you have you tested them, whatever that means, that you know that they're very kind, they're very caring, they're very generous, and they're very loyal, and that's the thing that you look for, then great, fantastic, pursue that person. Hopefully you're the person that they want as well, and then it's great. It's a perfect match. You know, why would you not? So again, pursue. You cannot just work on yourself. Pursue the things that you want. Don't just say, well, if I do this, things will fall in my lap. No, things will not fall in your lap. Some things may, but if you want it for sure, you have to pursue it. You cannot let it be up to chance.
Just rise and shine. If you rise and shine, everybody will look in that direction, isn't it? Learn to sing a song. We can train you if you want. Just one song that may make her fall in love.
Wonder if she's up there in the stage with them.
You should soon join the school of Isha for singing courses. Thank you, Sadhguru. Next question is rather controversial, and you have also addressed this, but we are putting it again here because it is quite relevant. As is known that the majority of population in the state of Meghalaya is that of beef eaters. With the government banning consumption of beef in mainland India, people have an idea that the government is trying to control the very food habits of the citizens of a democratic nation. If beef is to be banned because of religious reasons, isn't it against the idea of secularism? And if it is for the environmental point of view, as you said, why not mutton ban or chicken ban, which are also reasons for greenhouse gas emission?
Whoa, I did not know that. Is that still true today? Wow, a ban on beef. That's very interesting. I mean, again, I don't know. The climate issues or whatever. I don't know what to call it. Like the political issues or whatever it is behind the beef stuff. That is kind of scary to have government kind of control what you eat to a certain degree. I mean, government controls all. I do believe most government controls somewhat to what you eat. Like in the United States, there are certain products that are banned, and there's certain products that are not. So to some degrees, government does control what the population eat. But to ban, like, I guess that's I don't know if that's a staple, but that is kind of like something that's very common, especially if I guess they're all beef eaters there. If that's their main food source, then that's kind of interesting. I really don't know what to think. I don't think that's a good thing to ban like beef, but I think it should be up to the people's choice of what they want to eat. But interesting that the government wants to ban it. Huh.
Well, let me change one aspect of the question. Nobody ever uses mainland India. That's only mainland China.
Okay. Rest of India.
This is also mainland India only. It is just that which is being misunderstood now because of certain things that have happened is when Jawaharlal Nehru talked about building roads and bridges and industry across the country, including dams, because at that time we thought dams were the biggest things we could do. Now our ideas have evolved into something else. When there were plans for Northeast, he was advised that don't touch Northeast. It is pristine nature and tribal cultures. Do not try to modernize and destroy this. It's best it is left like that. So, initially it was a conscious decision not to touch Northeast because people were beautiful, they were living in their own ecosystems. There was no need to bring simply cars and trains and airplanes and make them like the rest of the world. They were doing great by themselves. But later on, development started happening in unplanned ways, little bit. At that time, they should have decided. But because the same party was in power, they respected the decision that Jawaharlal Nehru made. When he made the decision, it was a conscious decision. After that, it was just an emotional stuff, for which northeastern region has kind of paid a little bit of price. I wouldn't say it's a price, because living in pristine nature without all the rubbish that you see in the rest of the cities, I think it's a great thing. But, but today because of connectivity, because everybody is watching on the television, on the internet, how big cities are, how New York City is, how London is, how something else is, when you did not see any of those things, I think people here were doing fine by themselves. That way, the only country which has made a conscious decision like this and successfully going with that is probably Bhutan. Everybody else has succumbed to Western ways of life and they think we also have to become like that. Now it's unstoppable everywhere, including Northeast. Here, if you do not know, some 12,000–15,000 kilometers of highway is being planned. Once that happens, entire India will be driving all over Northeast, okay? I went to Ladakh and you won't believe, I went to Siachen for the yoga day. Thousands of motorcycles, all kinds of people who have no idea how to balance on two wheels also or on motorcycles. Everybody renting a motorcycle, getting a license right there. There's a motorcycle rental, next to that we'll organize licenses for you. Right there, instant license and hundreds of motorcycles everywhere. It is no more the Ladakh, pristine Ladakh that it was, simply tourists and traffic jams on the mountains, unbelievable. Well, that's going to happen to you because you asked for development. Because this is the kind of development that's happening in the world, unfortunately. Everything in excess. And in 15–20 years it'll happen, this government has decided to put railways, airways and roadways and everything. So, we can think it's development. It is also a certain loss to the country because tribal cultures will be totally lost, pristine forests will be lost, everywhere there will be picnickers, okay? Not wildlife enthusiasts or something, picnic people will be all over the place. So, having said that…
Real quick, I was wondering why can't they have national parks? That's something that I believe one of our presidents done. Like I've never really thought about this. I remember watching some video on YouTube about things that presidents have done that's very great for the United States. You know, I think it was whatever they contributed. I can't remember who it was, but they made national parks where it's basically essentially nature and nothing. I don't know how to. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm guessing it cannot be changed out of nature. So it's going to be like maybe pathways for people to walk in and lamps and seats. But other than that, it's going to be grass and trees. So it's going to be preserved, and nothing can build over that or anything like that. There's a couple of those parks, nature parks or whatever, national parks and stuff that will not be touched by human hands to a certain degree, but people can drive there and experience nature. It's really weird to say that, considering that nature's everywhere. But like Yosemite Stone, I believe it is, or Yellowstone National Park, or maybe even the Grand Canyon. I wonder if India can do that to try to preserve as much of places as much as possible. That way, it's not, you know, and have a hard says this place will not be developed. It'll be it'll be a national park. It'll have path for walking, but no building, any kind of housing or anything on it.
Now, the reason why it is banned in many major states in the thing, and at the same time they have not touched this here is, in those states there is a huge emotion about that. Democracy, you talked about secularism, democracy is always about considering the concerns of the people. When there is such a big emotion, it's better you take that into thing. And everybody thinks this law came in the last 4 years. No, this law has been there since 1950. So this has been the way we have been running the country. We make a law and we don't have the courage to implement it. Now some hothead on the street, he decides to enforce the law. When mob tries to enforce the law, it will happen in cruel ways. It will happen in ridiculous and in archaic ways of doing things. So this is something we must decide. If we make a law, do we have the courage to implement the law? Do we have the means to implement the law? Otherwise, better there is no such law. So now, in the major states, if you do not implement it, there will be backlashes, there will be violence. So implement it, there is some kind of grouse happening, a small group of people. It's better to manage them rather than create a on-the-street battleground, okay? You don't want that right now because we are poised for economic development. Everything is being done to see social unrest doesn't happen. So here traditionally, see even in India, this is a very gender-biased law. You can only not slaughter a female cow. You can slaughter a bull, you can slaughter a buffalo. Look at this, gender discrimination. You can slaughter me but not you. Only cow protection because in this culture, this is a pastoral culture, where we have an understanding. Now it's different, but in the past, if there is a bad agricultural year, if there is a famine, we used to have serious famines in this country, if there is a famine, if I have 2 cows in my house, my children will live. You don't have cows, your children will die. This is a wisdom stuck in people's minds. So when because of my cow, my children lived, I worship this cow because this is the source of my life and my progeny. So there is a very deep engagement with the cow, in the sense when I was growing up, we were never fed milk from multiple cows. That specific cow, it has a name, and every day they will take you there and you at least give something, you know, one banana, one little grass or something to the cow, and always my grandmother will be saying that this is you're like your mother, you're drinking milk from this cow, you must be always grateful to this cow, this kind of thing. Like there's a huge emotion between you and that cow because you're drinking its milk biologically and emotionally you're connected. You're not drinking dairy milk which is million cows and buffaloes and we don't know what else. So this has been the culture. Because of that, because we have drunk the milk of this cow, if we tomorrow want to eat the cow, that is considered cannibalism, not cow slaughter. I want you to understand this. It is deep-rooted in us because like our mother, this cow gave us milk. Tomorrow how to kill it and eat it up?
I guess it's kind of like how Americans see pets, where I think they're more seen like family as opposed to just animals. You know, a dog is a dog, but when a dog is a pet, it's a family member because you grow up with it, you interact with it like on an everyday basis, and it's kind of like an emotional support. Whereas this one's a little bit more than just an emotional support. It's an emotional support, but on top of that, the cow provides as well. So it's like nature and nurturing. Animal, obviously a cow is part of nature, but nurturing to you because it's providing food and sustenance. So not only has that cow become a provider, but also kind of like a family member in a lot of sense. And because you interact with the cow, you kind of, for some odd reason, I guess we kind of develop an emotional attachment to things that we interact with in an everyday basis, especially if it's something not hostile towards us and that we can go up to it and pet it, and even spill our beans about stuff that, you know, we don't say to anyone else, just to a cow, just because, you know, it's there to listen, even though it can hear, but it probably doesn't understand.
This is considered cannibalism, and we said you never kill the cow. But they allowed other big animals to be killed also. And this methane gas you're talking, this is not a problem in India, this is United States problem. All the statistics and stuff, we just import it from the West and we think it's like this. In United States, how the cows are kept is a completely different matter. If you go into a cattle thing, it's something you must go and see, then you will not ask this question again. You must go and see, there will be 500,000 or 1 million cattle in one place. There'll be not a speck of green because so many animals moving, full of dung and everything. All in sheds, sometimes they move them out for exercise and again back. On the highway side, if they're there a kilometer away, the kind of sounds they're making, it will churn your stomach. Because they're intelligent enough to know that they're going to be slaughtered. You must see the screams of the cows. Once you go there, never again you will touch anything because basically it will churn up something within you. Why I'm saying this is, the cow is an animal where I have seen this personally, somebody that I knew. This is a lady, she named this cow as Lakshmi. It always was with her, 30 years that cow has become, it's very old but still with her. This lady died at 87. This cow came and just stood in front of the house, did not move from there, refused to eat. 2 days later, it just fell dead right there. And I've seen cows, if you are very attached to it and you're in some grief, you're not even with the cow is somewhere else, but it knows tears are flowing from the cow's eyes. So because it has human emotions, we said you cannot kill this because it is exhibiting human emotion. If you kill it, it amounts to cannibalism. When there is such a sensitivity, if you say, in front of my house you will slaughter, obviously there is going to be a problem. So in this part of the country, there is no such sentiment, so they did not pass the law. I think it's a very sensible thing to do, isn't it? But every doctor in the world is telling you, red meat is the source of every goddamn disease you have, so you better change.
So I guess he's in support of banning red meat. It seems like the statement is making there. I will say I think most doctors will say that. I mean, if you eat like a lot of red meat, then yes. I have a feeling doctors will say, yeah, it can be a problem. I don't know what the percentage is or anything like that, but even eating red meat every once in a while, it's not so much of an issue. Again, from what I've heard anyway. Probably not the answer she wanted. Again, United States, that's probably never going to happen. Again, I don't know what the statistics are in terms of the issues caused by red meat. I don't. Again, I've heard that red meat, there's some maybe correlation, but maybe not causation.
It is not…
Oh.
It is not a religion, it's a certain sense of humanity. Humanity finds expression in various kinds of aesthetics. This is our aesthetic.
What about the minorities living in those areas?
Okay, actually we will let that finish.
Sadhguru?
They can eat whatever
do
else they
not.
want.
When it is imposed, the ban is imposed, they cannot.
Suppose I like to eat you. You denying me my food. I enjoy human flesh. How can you pass a law against it, I'm asking? Hello?
There is a law already that you cannot eat humans, but
That is what… there is already a law that you can't eat a
The question is about passing
cow.
of the law itself.
No, I'm saying, see, you cannot eat a human being. Why? Because it's a human being. Now, we drank the milk of the cow, we have shared emotions with the cow, we don't see it as separate. Because in the villages, the cow lives in your house. There is no barn somewhere, it lives with you in the same house. So what has grown up with you, lived with you, shared life with you, you don't suddenly kill and eat it. Then you can as well eat your mother, what's the problem? I'm saying, what's the problem? It's good food. So I have taste for human flesh, how can you stop me from eating it? Don't start such an argument, it's not good.
I guess I will disagree with Sadhguru in this one. Obviously, sure, there are people out there who actually eat humans, but guess what? If I know you're coming for me to eat me, I will fight back. But people actually have eaten human beings in terms of survival, of course. I don't know what they've said, but anyways. But yeah, in terms of survival, you have eaten humans. I'm wondering what would Sadhguru think about like sheep or maybe dogs or cats, because I know in certain areas, even dogs and cats, while being seen as pets in the United States, some other country… oh, video over with, by the way. Some countries eat those because they're animals as well. So I cannot discriminate against one type of animal versus another. I will say this though: if there's someone that owns a cow and you kill someone else's cow, that's wrong. Much like if someone owns a dog, even though you eat dogs, that's someone else's property. Whether they see it as family or whatever, that's theirs. So if someone wants to eat a dog, I say fair enough. Eat a cat, eat rats, eat squirrels. You know, there are people actually out there who eat squirrels. Eats fish, beef, cow, chicken, whatever it is. Fair enough. Obviously, you don't go kill someone else's cows or animals or pets, because that's, well, for one thing, wrong. killing and eating human, no problem. Just be ready for a fight back, I suppose. But yeah, I guess the reason why I guess you can't kill a human is because we don't kill our kind, I suppose is the right way to put it, because cows are not us, are not humans, they're cows. Maybe that's the reason why the law is where you can't kill humans, but you can kill other animals for survival. I mean, an animal will kill you if it thinks you're threatening. Maybe a cow cannot, but a wolf will have no problem killing you. It doesn't care about the human laws. A bear will kill you. It has no problem with human laws. Lion, any carnivore animals will kill you. It will have no problem doing it. Spiders will kill you for self-defense if they are venomous and they inject you and you don't seek help in time. Same thing with snakes. So, again, fair enough if a cow tries to kill you and you kill it or you eat it for sustenance. My opinion in terms of eating animals for food is very neutral. I think it's very neutral, I guess. Where as long as it's yours, it's your animal, it may be your culture to do that. I'm not going to judge too harshly, I suppose. But if you want to eat beef, you want to eat chicken, if you want to eat dog, if you want to eat cat, if you want to eat rats or squirrels, by all means, so long as it's not someone else's, you're not stealing or killing someone else's animals, whether they consider them pets or not, it's irrelevant. If it's someone else's, it's theirs, not yours. If you go hunting in the wild, so long as you follow the laws of whatever the hunting season is, because you can't just hunt all the time, not even in the United States. There's certain seasons where you can hunt certain animals, and then after that it's over with, it becomes illegal. I'd say to Sadhguru in this one it's kind of unfair to have that law up there, and like a certain section of India, maybe her part of India, never heard about that law. They never had a chance to vote or anything. It's just something that's passed in the country, and then all of a sudden they enforce it on everyone without having people's opinion in it in a democracy. Again, I don't know how that law passed or anything. Just merely saying that if a law was going to come into effect and no one heard about it and they just decided to pass it under the radar before people can vote on it, I think that's very sneaky. That happens in the United States quite a bit. I won't say quite a bit. I think there's a couple of times where that has happened, a few times that has happened, and a few times they try to make that happen, but it got out and people voted against it. So I don't know how this law passed, whether everyone said, hey, we should ban this, and everyone agreed, then, well, if her part of the country agreed with that, again, I don't know. And let me know honestly in the question. Do you think that's a fair enough? Is that reasonable of the things that I've said? And it's kind of like what Lakhani says, about vegetarians and talking about how people in the southeast eat fish and whether that's right or not. And Lakhani is very open, says, hey, that's their culture. That's what they eat. That's what most of the foods come from, is from fish. And so I'm not going to sit there and stop them from eating fish, because maybe in their particular area crops doesn't grow very well and their only source of food is, say, cow, or maybe certain kinds of flour, but it doesn't, or certain kinds of vegetables or fruits, but cow is the main source because that's what's abundant there, and other types of vegetables can't grow there, or whatever the reason may be. I don't know. Anyways, let me know. I was very curious, especially that law. I don't know, is it 1950s, he said, that was passed, but it was never enforced. Was that law, provided to everyone saying, hey, we're going to vote on it? Does everyone agree with this or not? I'm kind of against government having a little too much control in terms of what people can and cannot eat. However, I do understand that there are certain things that are quite bad, in terms of like it'll kill you in no time, and which needs to be banned. But things that are like that you can eat and it's not necessarily bad for you, as long as it's in moderation, then I don't have an issue with. You can eat beef and still be really healthy. If you eat nothing but red meat all the time, then yeah, that's probably a problem. That is probably a big problem. But eating a little bit of red meat, I'm sure it's not, if you eat red meat every day, but it's a very small portion every day, I don't think that's a problem. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I do believe with everything, it's always with a certain amount of moderation. You can eat freaking fish, like 20 pounds of fish every day. It's going to be very unhealthy for you. You can eat 50 pounds of vegetables every day, and you're going to be very unhealthy, because it's just everything in a certain type of moderation. Your body needs a certain type of mixtures of nutrients, and eating only one thing is going to be unhealthy. So everything in moderation is what I say. Anyways, that's it. I talked a lot. If you like, this is the end of at least part, I don't know, whatever part this is, 3, 4, I don't know. Anyways, this is the end of this. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.